Okay, we'd like to get started really quick. First of all, we'd like to just briefly introduce ourselves. My name is Angelene Gallini, and this is Jeff Ferlo. And we actually have just met today or yesterday and have become great friends. And so that's been really nice for us to do that. About 2 or 3, 4 months ago, I was a TGL, she was a TGL, and we first got into doing the new Brightspace, and we both did it as a pilot. And as we both did it, and a lot of people we talked to, we hated Brightspace. It was like, we don't want to do this, we're done. And we're having to teach it at the same time. But as we got to do it and everything, we both went. We love Brightspace, it's awesome, and we don't want to go back to iLearn. And so we thought it'd be nice for us as people who have gone through it, and the people who are going to go through it, to say, you're going to have struggles just like we did and everything, but we want to try to do it from your side. What can you do to help yourself as you're going through it and helping the students do the things that they're going to do? So our idea is go through some of these things that we thought were the most important and maybe some of the most difficult things as teachers, as instructors. And then what we're going to do, we told each other, we'll tell each other to shut up after 7 minutes so that you guys can ask questions, so that you guys can have an opportunity to say, I don't understand this, so how did you do that again? We want to be very interactive, but we're kind of going to do it as fast as possible.
First, we have to turn that on.
And we both talk really fast and a lot. So
Yeah.
I'll turn it over to Jeff.
Yeah. Okay. So this is my 5th. I'm going to put on this script. This is my 5th semester teaching in Brightspace. So I can't remember brain hunt anymore, which may or may not help me in this. Okay. So we want to talk about a couple of the features that we like the best, and one of them being the news items. So when a student first clicks in to your course, the news items are going to be the first thing they see. And this kind of, in a sense, takes over for the announcements section that's in Brain Honey, except they won't see everybody's announcement from everybody's course in that messy spot. So they'll have to click into your course specifically to see their notes, so or their news. So what we really like about this, Carrie touched on this in her last presentation, is that when you go to use a new or make a new news item, you can see, this is not my finest work here on this picture, but you can see, if this computer was a little better, that I downloaded a YouTube video there. So it makes it easy to put a nice picture, drawing a famous word. So you can see how easy it is to add pictures and videos, and I have a touch screen, so this mouse concept is odd. Okay, so when you do a new news item, you can edit things right in the frame as well, or right in the window, so that's cool. But there's this fun little box here, it says insert stuff. That'll be your new friend. So you can insert things from all of these sources. So when you go to put in a YouTube video, you just search for it here. Search the name of the video, press search, click on it, put next, and it's right in there, right in your screen, right in your window. You don't have to mess with, I never got fancy in Brain Honey, because I wasn't in there very long, but you'll be able to see that video right on the screen, and you don't have to do any weird links or anything else. It's a couple clicks and it's inserted in there. And you have the same capability in your notes from instructor space, which will be instructor space now. It'll be a whole different shebang. But when you go to start something in there, this is so hard to talk and navigate at the same time. But you'll have the same capabilities in the notes. When you go to start a new thread, you'll see the same fancy little insert stuff button. So you'll have the same capabilities there as you did in your news. So those we loved. We love those features. And also, something I was going to talk about real fast is notifications. So every time you would write on a discussion board in Brain Honey, you'd have zero clue if someone ever responded to you until you went back in there, right?
Yeah.
That's right, right? Okay. But with this program, you can click up here on your name, right click there, and you can select the notifications you'd like. You can get a summary at the end of the day or whatever time of day you want. So for all of your courses, you can click daily and it'll send you an email or a text at whatever time you'd like. And it'll give you a summary of the things that have happened in your course that day. Or you can click on specific items here that you would like to get notifications on. So the things that are really helpful for us, obviously, the Dropbox, well, I know when stuff is due in my class, but the stuff that's really helpful is obviously the discussions, right? So I can click that I want an email every time that someone responds to me. And also, you'll see a little red dot like this over this icon here when you have a notification that someone has responded. So you can get it both ways. So
Can students do that as well?
yes, they can set their notifications, and for on their end, it is helpful that they can get a notification when a Dropbox item is due. And yeah.
I hope this isn't even off topic, but going along with that, do students get training on brain hunting of how to do these things?
Yes. We've had little tutorial videos, and I know they're working on making them even better. They'll be awe-inspiring by the time your students need them. So yes, they'll have training on notifications and how to submit to the Dropbox and the basic features they need to know. Okay, and that was my quick 7 minutes. Go, Jeff.
I was going to say really quick on notifications. I didn't realize this, and I was teaching 2 classes, and I had my notifications come to me so that I knew when everything was due, and everything's due at 11:59 in my class on a Saturday night. So I'm asleep, and there are quizzes and discussions, and at 11:59 on a Saturday night, I'm asleep, and I hear a ling, 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 ding, 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 ding. It's like, oh my, I hope my son doesn't mean me or something, and he, notification of quiz ending, notification of discussion board ending. So just be aware of when it's going to
Don't get too click happy on the notifications, or you'll be like thinking somebody died in the middle of the night when your phone is ringing.
Or anything. So make sure that you are sure of what's going on. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the grade book, because that was the hardest thing I think for us, was the grade book. So I'm going to try to teach you a little bit about grades. So what happens, first of all, let me get you out of here. What usually happens is that you'll get the grade book, and I'm sorry I put it the way I like it, not the way it usually shows up. But what happens is in the grade book, you'll get all the teaching groups, at least in ours. We have all the teaching groups, and I have about 50 students. And what happens, it shows all the students, and it's nice to, if I can do this, that I like to see all my students instead of just 20. So I have all my students, and it shows everything that's there, the grade, the syllabus quiz, and it puts it a lot of times by sections instead of what's due. It'll say the gathering activities, which is their group work here, and then it will show the peer assessment, which they have to go in and they have to show this is what we've done as a group, and they have to give those grades. And then they'll give journal activities here every other week. And I'm thinking there's got to be an easy way for me to see that so that I can grade, not go here and here and here and here and here and scroll. So what I did is I thought there's got to be an easier way. So I just played around with it. And I looked here, and you can do it by groups or by user, which is really nice, because if I just want to look at certain students, I can look at a certain student. But what I did is that I said I want to go by groups, but I want to go by group 1. I want to grade group 1 only. And so I say, okay, I hit group 1 and I hit apply. And that now gives me just group 1. And I thought, well, that's really cool. But I don't want to have to go like this all the time and go back and forth. And it's just so long. I thought that's crazy. That drove me nuts.
Don't let it scare you. It's really messy at first.
It is.
Scary,
so I said, what I want to do now is that I just want to see lesson 3 group activity, lesson 3 journal activity, and lesson 3 peer assessment, because that's all I'm going to grade this week. So I thought there's got to be an easier way. So up here where it says more actions, you can hide and show columns. So I just click, I don't want to see all of these, so I just click on this, and I say I want to look at gathering, lesson 3 gathering. I want to look at, well, let's do this a little bit easier. I want to look at lesson 6, because I haven't graded that one yet. Okay, and let's say I want to look at lesson 5, journal activity, and peer assessment 6. That's all I'm grading this week. And so what it did is that it just brought me up group 1, lesson 6, and journal activity 5. So I don't have to scroll through everything. Yes?
Is there a way of saving it so that you can just pull up when you want to lesson 5, everything in lesson 5, everything? Okay, great.
It'll stay until you deselect or
No, I
unclick
meant
things.
so that you don't have to do that every time you want to change, like we can do in Brain Honey where I can look.
You have to go every week.
Oh.
So every week you'll have to
Every week
say,
you'll
okay,
have to
I'm
go
done
through
with lesson 5. It's lesson 6 now, so I unclick lesson
So
5.
if I
bring up
graded,
lesson
if
6.
I grade group 1, I want to grade group 2, then grade group 2 is there. Yes.
These groups that you're using, is this some random group you put them in for grading purposes, or are your students really in these groups?
No, my students are actually in these
Okay,
groups.
so let's say my class doesn't do groups like that, so could I just randomly create groups for grading purposes, or?
You could. Yeah, because there is actually a place, if you go over here with teaching tools, and this is your friend over here, because it takes you to discussions, it takes you to your Dropbox and quizzes. But if you go edit course, you can actually go to groups. And I love this group better than Brain Honey. I really struggled with it, and I love this groups.
Setting up groups is, I find, easier in this system than it was.
So if I, for instance, go to teach one another, gathering groups, I can go into here and enroll users. And I say, I want to change all the people in my groups. And so they're here randomly already. And so I want to change Jane, and I want to put her in group 4. It'll tell me she's in group 4. If I want her out of group 4, I put her in group 1. And so that makes it really nice for groups as well. Yes?
In Brain Honey, there was an option where you could do homogeneous groups or heterogeneous groups or, random. Is there?
No.
No.
I used that feature in Brain Honey and I kind of liked it, but no, there's not.
So it's manual, it's all manual?
Well, this here is already populated for me.
For our course.
For our course, it's populated for us.
So I don't know if your course uses groups,
It does, but they're not populated.
it might be,
They're not.
maybe.
They'll
No.
probably create them.
When we set up the courses, what we'll do is we'll do an auto enroll, so as soon as a student is added, they'll be added to a group
Yeah.
on their enrollment into the course.
And then you'll be able to switch it
And then you can
around
change
if you'd like to.
But that's all manual.
The switching around, yes,
Switching
but they
around.
are auto-enrolled when they come into the course. But if you find that a group's not working well together, or that half the group has dropped out, you'll have to manually rearrange the groups.
But
But that would
Tell
have
us
happened in
something
Brain
good.
Honey,
Tell us
right?
something good.
That would have happened in Brain Honey.
Really
We had to manually
No.
change groups in Brain Honey, didn't we?
Yeah.
If people
Yeah.
fell out?
Yeah, you would have had to do that.
Yeah, but I did the same thing. If the group didn't work, I would have to go manually in and change it out.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I could go in and it automatically populated the people who weren't in that group. I still had to go manually get rid of them.
Yeah.
I saw another hand, yes.
Sorry, I have a million questions actually.
So did we.
So,
Yes.
am I taking you off topic?
No.
Okay.
Well, there is no topic.
Okay.
We wanted more
We
time
wanted-
for
we wanted
Let me
questions.
this.
give you a topic.
We
All right,
wanted
so
this.
I have to look at all of my assignments every week, whether I'm grading them or not. And does this mean I'm gonna have to do the scrolling thing? Because I have to zero out assignments, and unfortunately, my course, I constantly have to fix quiz questions. And I mean, it's not so much just what I'm physically grading, I have to look at everything, and I mean, how do you zero things out? How do you?
Okay, so let
I
me,
zero things out on a weekly
yeah,
basis.
we do the
Right,
same
but do you
thing.
have to do you have to reset all the settings so that you can zero out and scroll across?
No, because if I want to do, let's say I want to grade, I can hit grade all right here. And I go to group 2, because that's what I'm grading at this time. and I just give them all zeros. Now, I'll get an email here in about an hour from all the students that I just gave a 0 to, okay? And I hit save and close.
Oh, wait, no, stop
Okay, and I just hit yes. I just hit yes, and all the students' grades are zeros.
And I'll make a point, you don't have to grade in groups either, like.
Yeah, you don't have to.
And I don't, because there's assignments that aren't
In groups,
based
and
off
I don't
groups.
grade in groups.
Okay, but you really have to do that because in Brain Honey right now, I can go to any assignment and say 0 out anything
Yes.
that is unsubmitted.
Oh,
Can you do that in
You're
here?
right.
You still can't. No.
Oh,
Are
you
you
just,
kidding me? You have to go into zeros every single
no,
time.
look, you can click. I'm
Yeah.
I'm talking with my hands and not a pointer.
Okay, so here, ready? Yeah.
So if everybody in that group did not submit something, you can click on that and press grade,
I'm
and
not-
you can.
But if they're not in a group, you've got 50 students,
Yeah.
and scattered throughout, there's 10
Right.
students that
You
didn't do
click
it.
those 10 little
So
boxes.
you have to click 10 times instead of once.
Yeah.
Progress.
Yes.
Can I just tell you the frustrations you're
Just like added
having?
an hour to my week.
We had it as well.
Yeah.
However, let me
It'll
just-
go fast, I promise.
Oh, no, you don't understand.
It will. 5 semesters. I get it. I get it.
But,
Go ahead.
but I can honestly
If I
tell,
could just mention, as my partner here mentioned, we're going this way, a good attitude helps. This is not a church calling, we are being paid. So, you know, like, we're not,
Yes.
complaining.
Yeah, let me
well,
tell, hold on.
I'm
Let me tell you a
gonna tell
horror
you
story.
2 really quick.
Yeah.
That I've taught at 3 universities and everything, and I've gone through probably like 9 LMSs. Okay, and what I learned as well is that the more LMSs I learn, the better I get, the more marketable I become, because I've gone through all of them. I did not like this. I hated this. I hated grade books. I can carry notes, but I hated grade books. And we got to fix this and this and this and this. And they've made a lot of progress on this, on how it's done. And there's a lot of things about I learned that I looked at like, wow, how come I don't have this? But I don't think of that now. All I think about is now is that I love this. I love the way to grade this now. I didn't like it before, but I like it now. And so I think that's something you have to realize as well.
And there's enough pros to this program that it outweighs the cons, I promise.
So
Yeah,
there-
hold on, here, hold on.
Could you just show us the class where the folders are for,
Yes.
what does it look like?
Yeah. And while he does that, I was gonna say, when I first started teaching in this is my horror story, so it can't get worse than this. It's only gonna get better for y'all. We got access to Brightspace the day before class started.
As a
It
pilot.
can't get
A
worse.
day
It can't
before.
be 2 days after the class starts.
True. So students would ask me questions and I have absolutely no clue.
I was
So
gonna say,
that was that
Terry was on
perspective.
emails 24 hours a day.
It's gonna get, so it can't
So-
be that bad.
So what happens is that, for instance, I go into the learning outcomes, and this tells me for my class, the learning outcomes are right here. And the student can just do like this. What's next?
You know, that's
How
good.
to prepare,
There you go.
okay? You watch the stamp act, what's next? Okay? And I can look at the readings that the student has, and then I can look at the video that you don't want to watch. And then after I watch the video, then it tells, so it gives really nice to where students can go in
Can
and,
you show the discussion board?
A discussion board?
yeah.
You've got some questions over here.
Okay, sorry.
we're trying.
And sorry. And another feature I would say that's gonna save you time is when you're grading papers, you don't have to download them. So when a paper, see, yay! So when you get a journal activity, that's what they're called in our class, you can bring that, it'll open up in that window. You'll click a button, it'll open right up in that window. You can grade it right there to your right. You click the next student, their paper clicks up. You grade it to the right. So journal activities,
Can you do like marks and stuff like that?
Go
Like cross out?
you can't do it on the paper itself, but you can make feedback. The feedback little box is right there within the window.
We are working to get our integration with Turnitin. And with Turnitin, you can do a lot of markup on the paper.
And there's also a fancy little button that's right above the feedback that you can click, and you can record your feedback as well, and then move right on to the next student. So,
Yes,
verbally.
Sorry.
You
So
can just
really,
do a video
really
now.
quick, I'm sorry, I like the discussion. I like the discussion board. So what happened is that Julie can write and she can talk about this. Julie can edit if she wants to edit her post. She
Write
can
in it.
write in it. I can go in and reply to Elizabeth, and I can subscribe to that, and I can add attachments. It's kind of interesting because I'll go through sometimes. Huh?
That's when you.
Yes, so
That's
up at
the
see this up here, because I've been gone, that I can go in and see all the subscriptions. And I like this too, because what happens is that I can go in here now and I can say, I want to look at this group or this group or this group and see how they're doing. And I've noticed that a lot of people are posting on this because they're doing it to different questions. And I think they're doing all really a pretty good job. And then, for instance, I love doing YouTube and stuff like that. So I'll go through and I teach American foundations. We were talking about Democrat and Republicans. And I say, oh, I saw this great Studio C thing. Give me about 2 minutes and I'll go here. I'll find the Studio C. I'll hit under the YouTube. I'll hit the embed, copy, paste, go. Hey, I just did it. And now I'll show videos. I show more videos than I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah.
So that's great as well.
So I've already worked with Brightspace before. Not this depth in depth, but one of the things that I loved when grading was the import-export feature.
Mm-hmm.
If you import something, import your student list, and you need to give zeros, you can import it to Excel, assign zeros to everything that doesn't have anything, and then export it back, export it out, import it back in, and it takes all of 5 minutes to do it.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you.
Yes.
Go
When you
ahead.
create questions in your discussion board, is there a feature that you can check that they cannot see the other answers until they post their own?
Yes.
So that
So,
way they don't copy everybody.
well, the way our discussion boards, it's a little different, but the first two graded discussion boards, the rest of them in our course aren't graded, but the graded ones where they have to post their threads, they can't read everybody else's, so they can't just summarize everybody else's answers and make their own. They have to post their thread
Own
first.
original idea. and
Yes,
then they can
before
see
they
the
have
others.
access.
Is that the default, or do you have to choose?
That is the,
We're building it, it is the default.
that's what I thought.
So as we design the courses and set it up, that is the default for, as long as we can tell that that seems to be the way that it's.
Overall preference,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, because I think having an option would be good. For some questions you don't care about, that others you do.
Yeah, and you, as an instructor, can definitely go ahead and change that.
But can a student post gibberish and then go back in 10 seconds later and edit?
They can, but what you can do is you can see the history of what they've posted. Okay.
Yeah.
Busted, busted. We are big brother in this all the way.
How many students are in each of your classes? You had 30, I thought.
We started
with
50, and I've taught 2 sections in this and been a TGL. I promise I did it within the time allotted to me.
Something else we want to
Just-
show really.
I promise.
Something else I want to show really quick, in the time that we have left, is that a lot of times the student will come in and will say, sorry, I missed the deadline. Is there a way I can retake the quiz or take the quiz? And that happens sometimes. There is, you have your Dropbox over here, and for instance, we go to quizzes. And let's say, for instance, that they did not take exam 3. So I can go in and I can edit exam 3, and I just go restrictions here. And I want to allow, I think, myself to take the test. So I just add special access to this. Now, it says end date. I was doing this with my TGL at one time, and she did it wrong. And I said, you just screwed up my class. She goes, what do you mean? She goes, I said, you just gave the test again for everybody.
Just let everybody.
So don't do that again. So you don't do it here, you do it under the person. So I'm going to give Jeff here under the pencil. I'm going to say he can take it until the 13th.
So that's different than Brain Honey because you'll have to specify to that student. It's not just an open-ended, you have forever and a day to take it. You can say, you have
No.
until next Saturday to take this exam again.
And you can do that under discussions, under, let's say we have self-assessments and all that kind of stuff. I have students that are sick or whatever, and I can go in and give them access to that, yes, here and here.
What about the email? Is the email embedded, like, to send emails? Is that embedded?
Yeah, so I can send an email, and the thing with this, what's really cool, I can send an email almost all kinds of places. I can chat with the student. See this right here? This is a chat function, Brother Ferlo, whatever, and I get this little chat. I can see if they're online, so when I'm online, Reed is on. I can get on with Reed and send him a little message, and it'll pop up here, and for him as well. I can send an email to all my students. I can send an email to this student.
Or just use the email class list,
Right.
that button at the top. And it's also within the feedback, so if you pull up if you're grading a journal activity, and you pull up and you see that they submitted it in some Google Doc format that you can't pull
just
up,
hit
you
email.
can click the email and say, you sent me the wrong format, send it again, next student, pull it up.
Can they email you back in the
Yes.
Yeah.
same way? So
Yes, because it's through you and their BYU-Idaho account. It's not a separate account.
And do they have pictures in the email? Can you add pictures? Like you can add any.
can you add stuff to emails? Is that
Oh, yeah.
Or to have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because for instance, the discussion board, I'm not technologically smart at all, but I can be in this.
Yes.
I
I
really
had
can.
never put a video in Brain Honey ever, and now I'm like, videos and pictures. It makes me look really smart. And so, sorry,
I
go
just
ahead.
have a quick question. So in Brain Honey, when we pull it up, all the things I need to grade are right there for me to see.
the dashboard?
Is that available in this?
All the things that need to be graded.
Yeah.
Yes,
Show
like on the
on
dashboard, when I log in, before I even click on what class I'm teaching, on the left side, I have.
So right here, it says,
Well, there's that thing that says
So
7.
no, it's like, so Susie,
Oh, not
like,
oh, I see.
class discussion or quiz submitted, I can just go and grade everything right there? Is that not available?
We don't have that right
Okay.
now.
That's
That's,
fine.
we've some preliminary stuff from them, but it looks like that could be a possibility, but it's not there right now.
Okay, that's all right.
You know the Dropbox.
Go ahead. Back. Oh, wait, Kim. Oh, go ahead. In the very back. Then Kim.
Just two quick questions. First, can you adjust the group size if they're coming already assigned to a group?
Oh, yeah.
And secondly, can you, I thought I heard you say this, but I just want to clarify. So when you give students feedback on an assignment, there is now an option where they can reply to any questions you might have.
Not reply within the window, but what is nice is this feature, when you go into the Dropbox, you can see when you published your feedback, and you can actually see when the student read it, or if they did.
Yeah,
And
so,
it's kind of depressing.
yeah, so
Because
for
you
instance-
thought all your feedback was getting read, and maybe it wasn't. But you'll know for sure now.
so I can go here now, for instance, I do a group activity, I can give feedback here, I can add a file, I can add a video, again, like I did everywhere else, record video here, audio from right here, and then I can also publish, and then what happens is, if I go back, I can go to next student here and see the next students on each of those.
Very tough.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say for this, they were just asking about student feedback.
Yeah.
So
Like, if they could, I just wanna know, like, if there's a little icon, I also teach
Yes.
in Blackboard, and they just updated stuff, there's a little icon now that they know I gave feedback on that assignment.
So what it is when it comes to that is they'll see a list of the assignments, they'll see any scores that they got and any feedback in the next column.
So if let me go see if I can find
A Dropbox.
a Dropbox that has feedback that a student.
Anybody, go ahead, Kim.
So I love that feature where you can reset assignments for a student for a specific amount of time. That's like a million times great. So can you do the same thing if you need to open an assignment early? Can you do it just for the one student?
Yes.
Yes.
And that makes it nice too. That makes it really nice because I like it. Some students will say, I need to go a little early. It's like, yeah, I can do that for you.
Go ahead, Jordan.
How well does it work on the iPad? I know
Oh,
horrible on iPad.
I don't have one, but I have heard
does.
great things. You
It
can,
does.
you can get that app on an iPad and you can grade offline.
And then
And
once you
then-
get online, it'll go.
It'll input it all.
So right now, that is only for Dropbox assignments.
Right.
But we're expecting to hear some great things next in a week or so. She's like,
So most, well, maybe I won't say most, but that's where I think you're doing a lot of your grading. That's where like major papers are gonna be submitted to you through your Dropbox, so.
What is the timing for the layout for this for upcoming courses, and how far in advance will teachers get access to it to learn it?
You'll have to,
next session. Stay for the next session, we'll talk about it.
she's gonna,
And it, just really quick, we had a feeling, we knew it would be this crazy. So we're willing, during lunchtime or later, if you guys want to come still ask questions, we'll
And we're
find a
doing it
place.
again.
And we're doing it again, the 4th.
yeah.
Yeah, but we're willing to help you and calm you because we know how you
As
feel.
best we can.
Again, because it was pretty much, you'd like to do a pilot? Yes. Start tomorrow. You know, it was like, you know,
It
and
was
it was,
crazy.
it was tough,
But
but
it's good.
Carrie was amazing. She knows everything.
We're doing lots.
Yeah. It's good, I promise. It's good, I promise. Despite all the things, oh, shoot, I like that better. You're always gonna have that, right? You can't get it all in one program. It's not gonna happen.
Can't have everything. It's a team, I think, we're doing.
But it's great. Thank you, guys. I hope that helped.